Okay, this is like take 70 of me trying to do this. So, got iPhone recording, we got the Nikon recording, and we have the Tascam for audio purposes only. And I will try to switch between here to there to here to there to here to there. And yeah, we're just gonna use the audio. Alright, we're good. And that was my first attempt at editing with multiple angles. Welcome back. Thank you guys for clicking on this video and any past videos. Any views at all is very much appreciated. This video will be more about the equipment that I'm using and what I plan to use it for, what they do. Like I said, I always try to give a more in-depth look at what film looks like and what theater looks like. So since this is my own independent project, I won't be talking about it too much, since like I said in previous uploads, I just want to drop the video, just want to drop the film, and yeah, I don't want to give too much on it. I just want to upload it and see what people think. But for now, we're just going to be talking about the equipment that I use and kind of what the purpose of each thing is. And yeah, this should be a good one. So the first thing that I bought and the first piece of equipment that I am going to use is this Nikon D3500. I've shown this a couple times. It says right there, D3500. I've shown this a couple times on this channel. I've recorded with it a bit, and really I just wanted a good camera because I didn't want to use phones. Like, iPhones are of good quality, but I just felt like it'd be better to have a camera. I feel like it's more professional this way. The lenses are, are very high quality. So, if I'm going to be recording a film, I want to actually be sure that it will be done semi-professionally, because if I'm going to do this in the long run and write more stories and do all that I'm doing for this first film, I want to be sure that I have good enough equipment for it. And if you notice down here, there's this little part that came with the tripod, and I connected this to here so that I can set this up on a tripod, but we'll talk about the tripod in a bit. The next parts of the camera are the lenses. So this is a 18 to 55 millimeter lens. It comes standard with most of the D3500s. By the way, it's a DSLR camera. So yeah, this is like for pretty close range, close photos, and yeah, it's pretty basic, does the job pretty well, takes some pretty good high definition photos, and has a pretty good zoom on it. But yeah, that's the 55 millimeter, the 18 to 55 millimeter, and this is the 70 to 300 millimeter. Big step up, way bigger zoom for way farther out pictures. Maybe if someone was 20 feet away, you can get their whole body very clearly and very crisply. And at first I didn't think I would record with this, but now looking at it, I can use this for some pretty good video. If I were to record a semi-long distance and I wanted to cover it pretty well, this would be the lens of choice. I'm also going to buy another camera, the same type. I don't think I'm going to get two of the farther lenses. I'm just going to get another D3500 with another regular 18 to 55 millimeter lens, just so, like I showed in the very beginning of this video, I kind of want to shoot from multiple angles and see what that dynamic looks like. Shooting from the actor's right side or left side, I kind of want to have that dynamic, and I feel like it would make for more interesting perspectives. So those are the little things you got to look at. The next thing we have here is the Tascam Dr-40 X. I just wanted to find some relatively cheap but good quality audio recorders, and it said that this was pretty good for amateurs trying to start filmmaking, since the audio of the D3500 is actually kind of poor. It's a camera, so it's meant more for the visuals rather than the audio, and I'm fine with that. I'm okay with the audio being a little off, because I could just buy this and I can sync up the video to this audio. And yeah, there's this little piece in the back. This is a Movo. The whole point of this is that you can attach it on top of the camera so that you don't hold two individual pieces. You can just connect it to the camera and have it as one individual piece. And this little part up top, this little furry, is so that if any wind comes in, it goes through this and it does not go into the camera, which will really mess up outside audio. So, you know, always just to be prepared, I bought one of these just in case if I have to record anything outside or anything like that. I just have this piece to not worry about that. I guess I'll show you what it looks like on top with the camera so that you understand how useful it is. So altogether, it would look like this. I get it's a little big, but I mean, when recording, this camera does have a screen in the back, so it's not like you have to have your face here and it bothers you. You can shoot, have the screen just, you know, show what you're recording, and then you just hold it still on top of the tripod, and then you would just record here, and then later in post, you could sync up the audio. So instead of just holding two individual pieces like this, you could just attach it, and there you go, one universal piece. So that's the Movo on the DR40 X and why it's important on the Nikon. The last bit of equipment that I have here is the tripod that I got for it. Obviously, this can extend way longer so that it can record people just at, you know, standing height. And say that I am recording an absolute giant of a man, I can also take this out and get a couple extra inches on it too. So actually really cool that it came with all these features. Obviously this handle right here controls lifting the camera up and down angles, and if you tighten it, it doesn't turn at all. These are just some things that I've had to play with recently too, because again, I'm new to filmmaking. So yeah. Also it has like a little handle here, so if you were to be recording and then you have to get up and go somewhere, you could just hold it and then walk with it. I don't know why I did that so aggressively. That was kind of weird. And the one thing I actually really like about it is that there is like a little measuring thing here so that I know when the camera is perfectly balanced. So if you see that little dot right there, I can tell that this is standing straight up and that it isn't tilted in any way, and that it's going to look like it's forward. And there's also one here on the tripod leg that shows that the tripod is upright and it is balanced. So I don't know, man, there's a lot of cool features on this thing, and it's super useful. I'm also gonna buy a second one of these since I'm getting a secondary camera. Obviously I need a second one, obviously, because I don't want someone with a tripod and then someone else just holding a camera and having it all shaky. I want continuity in these shots. Oh no, this is not good. It is stuck. There we go. There we go. That's way better. Or is it? Oh no, it won't close. There we go. Got it. False alarm. Got it. So yeah, that is about all my equipment. I guess I could just really briefly talk about what exactly my plans are for these things, not just for my film. I wouldn't buy equipment if I'm only going to use it for a one-time purpose, obviously. So what I plan on doing is recording this first film that I'm almost done writing, and possibly some skits. I have this friend of mine, like best friend since, you know, we were in middle school, and he and I always wanted to do like some comedy sketches. He's a really funny guy, and since I've known him for so long, I can bounce off of his comedic style. And I feel like we can make some really comedic content. And now that, you know, we have all the pieces to do it, we have an audio recorder, we have cameras, we have tripods, you know, I feel like it can become a thing now. And, you know, I do plan on releasing multiple films. I want to really test my writing ability. I want to test my directing ability along with my own acting, and I see this as a way to give some of my friends a little step in the door, you know. Like I said, the reason I'm doing this channel is to really give a background or a more in-depth look at the film and theater industries. The thing with that is that you can't really get into those industries without experience, and it's extremely hard to get experience. So with this channel, I feel like this is an opportunity for me to have experience, to have a reel, to have a catalog of things that I've done. And along with that, you know, you see all these things. You get to see recordings, the recording sessions, the kind of like the little rehearsals before you record, possibly some of the editing process. We'll see. But it's really an opportunity to show people, you know, number one, this is what I can offer as an actor, and number two, to show the broad public, oh, this is what it looks like to really work on one of these projects. I saw this video, and if I can somehow get the recording of it and put it on top of here, I will. But it was so cool. It was basically the effects of a movie, and it's so cool. So the girl was really in a green screen room the whole time, but the effects made it look like she was going up and down some levels in this weird, I guess, post-apocalyptic world. It was just really, really cool. And I think showing people stuff like that is really interesting, because you don't know of what's happening there. You don't know what it took to make this become the end product. And I feel like that's something that, you know, some people could take interest in. I feel like that's how you inspire people to do things. Like I said, I watched Spider-Man 3, and seeing that movie in big picture was absolutely incredible, because you don't see something like that every day. Well, I mean, you do if you go to the theater a lot, but, you know, you see something like that, and I just have a feeling that if they would have shown, like, behind-the-scenes footage of that, and there's probably some version out there with it, I feel like I would have been enamored with theater immediately, with the movies, film, TV acting, which acting in general, I think I would have just been enamored with, and I would have chased that longer than I chased baseball. So that's part of the reason. And also because I have friends who are actors, and I understand that they're also going to go through the same struggles that I go through. You can't enter the industry if you don't have any experience, and no one's going to give you experience, because they're looking for people with experience. So this is really to give people a little to give the broader masses a show of what it's like to exist in this world of theater, of film, of all of these types of things. And also to give people like the higher ups in these industries a little taste of what some of these people can do. You know, sometimes you can't wait for a door to be opened for you. Sometimes you got to kick the door down and say, hey, I'm here. And that's possibly what I'm going for. Maybe I get just YouTube famous. Maybe I get famous enough to be on a TV show. You know, it's definitely one of the goals. It's, you know, I live in an apartment building in Jersey City, New Jersey. I love my city so much. I've grown up here my entire life. I've never been more than a mile away from the hospital that I was born. And it's cool to me. I love this city. I love the culture of this city. But I just feel like there's something more for me. And, you know, I don't want to, you know, live my life as the wannabe actor of Jersey City. I kind of want to be the person that puts Jersey City on the map, gives some kids out there the inspiration to say, hey, he made it out of here. Maybe I can do that too. So, yeah, man, I have some big goals for this channel, but if you really think you can do it, you can do it. I listen to this comedian a lot, Andrew Schultz, and kind of in a way, even though I've never met the man, I'm really inspired by him. He's a comedian, I'm an actor, they're two different fields, and he bashes actors all the time, but, you know, he's a comedian, it's what he does. He always talks about how he used to always record specials, and he would wait for this network company to hire or buy his specials so that he can make it to the big stage, so that he can become this famous person who can live off of comedy. And no one was paying any attention to him. And then he realized he wasn't going to wait for someone to see his comedy for what it really was, which was quality entertainment. He was just going to put it out there. And if people liked it, people will follow it. And now I believe his YouTube channel is at 1 million followers. He has sold out almost every comedy club in New York. He now has a special that is supposed to be aired sometime in November, I believe, in LA. It really opened my eyes, because I don't have to wait for a producer or a casting director to see what I bring to the table and put it out there. I can just create my own content, have the masses enjoy it, and then if the masses enjoy it, people will look for you. And by that time, you already have some leverage. So, yeah. Guess this video became more of just my equipment to the goals of this channel. Kind of what my plans are for the future. The near future and the far future. I'm really passionate about this. If you haven't been able to tell, I love what I do. I act, and that's what I do. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I guess I will catch you in the next one. It's hard to find stuff to upload if you don't really have much to say. You only talk in front of a camera about a certain topic. Maybe I can prepare a monologue. We'll see. So, again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.